Today, the world awakens to a heartbreak that feels almost unreal, a silence settling over one of the most powerful voices ever to rise from Jamaica's hills and change the soundscape of the entire planet. Jimmy Cliff, born James Chambers, the global ambassador of ska, rocksteady, and reggae, has died in late November 2025. He was 81 years old. The news was confirmed by his family, with his wife sharing the devastating announcement on his official Facebook page. It revealed that Cliff suffered a seizure, which was followed by pneumonia, and despite medical efforts, he could not be saved. Fans across generations spanning continents, faiths, cultures, and eras are mourning the loss of a man who didn't only sing songs, he carved pathways for an entire genre, carried Jamaica's voice across oceans, and became a symbol of resilience, consciousness, unity, and hope. His passing marks the end of an era. Jimmy Cliff was the last living reggae musician to hold Jamaica's prestigious Order of Merit, a national honor granted only to the brightest icons in arts and sciences. With his voice now gone, it feels like history itself has paused, stunned, grieving, remembering. Today, we honor his life. Today, we tell the story of a man who changed music forever. Early life and education. Jimmy Cliff entered the world on the 30th of July, 1944, in St. James, then part of the colony of Jamaica. From the very beginning, music called to him. As a schoolboy in St. James, he wrote songs, listening to a neighbor's sound system, a soundtrack that would shape the rest of his life. At 14, his father took him to Kingston, the beating heart of Jamaican music, where he adopted the name Jimmy Cliff, believing that the name should stand tall like a cliff itself. Kingston was tough, the industry was unforgiving. But Jimmy's spirit was stronger than any barrier. He knocked on doors, visited studios, begged producers to just listen, and he tried, again, and again, and again. One night, while walking past a record shop as it closed, he boldly convinced Leslie Kong, a man who had never produced music, to take a chance on him. Together, they sparked a revolution. Hurricane Hattie, released when Cliff was a teenager, became his breakthrough. From that moment, a legend was set into motion. Career, 1,960 seconds and 1,970 seconds. The 1960s transformed Jimmy Cliff from a talented Jamaican teen into an emerging international force. He released hits like King of Kings, Dearest Beverly, and Miss Jamaica, each carrying the unmistakable sound of the island's evolving rhythm. In 1964, he was chosen to represent Jamaica at the World's Fair in New York, a monumental moment that placed him on a global stage. That same year, he appeared in This Is Ska. As ska and rocksteady began shifting into something new and revolutionary, reggae. Signing with Island Records, Cliff moved to the United Kingdom. His international debut album, Hard Road to Travel, released in 1967, earned critical praise and brought him widespread attention in Brazil, thanks to his hit, Waterfall. Then came the global classics, Wonderful World, Beautiful People, Vietnam, which Bob Dylan called the greatest protest song he had ever heard, Wild World, a cover that became one of Cliff's most recognizable tracks. But it was 1972 that changed everything. The Harder They Come. Jimmy Cliff starred as Ivanhoe Ivan Martin in The Harder They Come, a film that didn't only captivate audiences, it revolutionized the global music scene. For the first time, reggae was thrust into the international spotlight. The soundtrack became historic, one of the most influential in world cinema, and Cliff's performance instantly elevated him from musician to cultural icon. The 1970s were unstoppable for him. He appeared on the first season of Saturday Night Live, traveled across Africa, and continued releasing powerful, socially conscious music. His sound, whether ska, rocksteady, or roots reggae, carried the soul of Jamaica with him everywhere he went. Career 1,980 seconds and 1,990 seconds. The 1980s introduced a fresh Jimmy Cliff, one still grounded in his roots but expanding his global influence. He recorded with Kool and the Gang, performed at the world-famous Pink Pop Festival, and saw Bruce Springsteen bring his song Trapped to massive audiences. He starred alongside Robin Williams and Peter O'Toole in Club Paradise, contributed to We Are the World, and continued touring internationally. In 1985, He won a Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album for Cliffhanger. His voice appeared on the Rolling Stones' Dirty Work, and his music spread into films like Cocktail. By the 1990s, Cliff was a global household name. His cover of I Can See Clearly Now for Cool Runnings soared to #1 in multiple countries. He performed at Rock in Rio, released Hakuna Matata with Lebo M, and even appeared on Cartoon Network's Space Ghost Coast to Coast. His influence wasn't only musical. His song, You Can Get It If You Really Want, became the campaign anthem for Nicaragua's Sandinista National Liberation Front in 1990. He became, truly, a world artist. Career 2000 to 2025. Across the 2000s and 2010s, Jimmy Cliff never stopped evolving. He judged the Independent Music Awards, released Fantastic Plastic People and Black Magic, blending traditional reggae with fresher electronic and world music influences. In 2003, the Jamaican government honored him with the prestigious Order of Merit, making him the only living reggae musician to receive this honor at the time of his death. His collaborations expanded globally, working with Joe Strummer, Annie Lennox, Sting, and Tim Armstrong. His 2012 album Rebirth won the Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album, proving that decades into his career, he was still redefining music. He continued performing around the world, earning the Caribbean Journal's Artist of the Year in 2012. His final major album, Refugees, released in 2022, showcased his enduring commitment to humanitarian themes and global unity. For over 60 years, Jimmy Cliff was a voice of protest, joy, movement, and spiritual reflection. Personal life. Jimmy Cliff's life journey included spirituality, cultural exploration, and family. He moved through Christianity, Rastafari, and Islam before embracing what he called a universal outlook, placing science, humanity, and unity above doctrine. He was married and had 2 children, his daughter Lilty and his son Aiken. He was also the father of actress-singer Nabia B. Despite his fame, Cliff kept his personal life grounded, prioritizing family, learning, and a deep connection to global cultures. Cause of death. On the morning of the 24th of November, 2025, Jimmy Cliff's wife shared the heartbreaking news that he had died following Azaitzure, which was then followed by pneumonia, complications that ultimately took his life. He passed away at 81. Net worth. At the time of his passing in 2025, Jimmy Cliff's estimated net worth ranged between $10 million and $15 million, derived from his decades-long music catalog, film work, touring, and international royalties. Legacy and impact. Jimmy Cliff's legacy transcends music. He democratized reggae. He globalized Jamaican culture. He showed the world that music could be both a protest and a prayer. Without Jimmy Cliff, reggae might have remained a local genre. Instead, he carried it to the global stage and inspired legends like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Burning Spear, Toots Hibbert, and countless more. He wasn't just an artist, he was a world ambassador, a storyteller, a spiritual force. His voice will echo for centuries. Emotional tribute. Farewell, Jimmy Cliff. Your songs crossed rivers, oceans, and borders. Your spirit lifted the world. Your voice became the anthem of courage, struggle, and hope. Though the man has left us, the music, the magic will never fade. Rest easy, legend. Your light lives on.